Hello and welcome to the OCVarsity Hoops Extra Show. I am your host, Jonathan Khamis, being joined by Steve Fryer. Steve, we're talking about Division III on down today for this show, upcoming the CIF Southern Section playoffs. We'll start it off with Division III AA. These games start on Wednesday, kind of a Garden Grove League flavor to this league, if you will, Steve. Including top seed Bolsa Grande, they are in this league, as well as Freeway League team in Buena Park, and don't forget about number 4, Esperanza.
Yeah, Esperanza might win this division. They might have as good a chance as any Orange County team to win a CIF championship this year. KZ Okpala, fantastic player. You know, one guy, can make a difference in sort of those middle divisions. But Kettering's a good player. They've got a pretty nice team. Okpala, of course, is a guy that's going to draw a lot of double teams and things like that. But they got other guys that can score, and they're also pretty tough on the defensive side of things.
Okay. Let's go to 3A, where you wrote in your column you did for OCVarsity.com that any of these 3 Orange County teams can win it. They are Ocean View, Corona Del Mar, and Yorba Linda.
Yeah.
Why are those 3?
Well, Yorba Linda's got Isaac Douglas, and they come in pretty hot. That's a pretty good team all around. Isaac Douglas, definitely a candidate for all-county consideration. Corona Del Mar comes out of the pretty tough Pacific Coast League. A lot of people thought Corona Del Mar would win that league. Northwood did, went undefeated. Pretty good for Northwood right there. Yeah. And then, the other team that you're looking at is Ocean View, and Ocean View went undefeated, as expected, in the Golden West League. Really not tested. They haven't played anybody very good probably since December. So it's going to be interesting to see, if Ocean View can kind of crank it up against the better competition that they'll see in the playoffs.
All right, moving on down, we have Division IV AA, where the Trinity League number 5 team that finished number 5 in the Trinity League, Jay Sarah's in this one, and on the other side is Laguna Beach. Yeah,
Laguna Beach, always really good in this division. Unfortunately, in the 4AA, Laguna Beach is very much a community school.
Yes,
Jonathan, sometimes they run into the schools that are kind of like, it's not fair to call them basketball academies, but they emphasize basketball a lot more than they do at Laguna Beach. So Laguna Beach, an awesome, community public school team. I'd see them going to the quarterfinals in this division pretty good. And then Jay Sarah, comes out of the Trinity League. They only won a couple games in Trinity League, but that's a team that is going to do a lot of damage in that division, playing some of the smaller schools out there. There are some pretty good other smaller private schools in this division as well. Something I don't like about the playoffs that we still have to fix. Maybe we'll fix it next year with a competitive equity model. Is that Jay Sarah, a private school from the Trinity League, the elite league around, is playing at Costa Mesa. Costa Mesa is one of those smaller community-based teams. It kind of like, I just don't like the way that matches up.
And then you have Los Alamitos in the open division. That's a whole other story. But Steve, let's finish it off with Division 4A, where a very familiar team as far as top 10 voters are concerned, Crean Lutheran.
Yeah.
They're in division. What do you think?
I really like that team a lot. Boy, they've got some really good players. They got when you see them, it's like 5'6'4" guys out on the floor who are all really good. All well-rounded players. And Crean Lutheran all of a sudden, is emerging as one of the top small schools in sports all across Orange County. But at this basketball team, they have very good athletes and very well coached. They're going to be fun to watch.
Any final thoughts as we head into the opening round of the CIF playoffs? I know you mentioned a little bit about some teams might not be in certain divisions and other things like that. I'm sure we'll hear a lot from county coaches this week.
It's not as bad as it used to be. They fixed some things. They've had this program that's been going on for about 5 years now, where you're first set in division by enrollment, and then how you've done in the past couple playoff years. They move you up or down. Next year, enrollment have nothing to do with it. Just go into a division slotted by your past performance. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Things are getting better. Next year's plan is not going to fix things totally, but you can't tweak a plan if the plan doesn't exist. So it's going to be interesting to see how that rolls out.
All right. Well, thanks to Steve Fryer. I'm your host, Jonathan Khamis. We'll be at the games this week. And for all your latest playoff updates, check out OCVarsity.com, where we've got you covered.